A flower never tells about the perfume it spreads, nor does a plant about the fruit it produces. The nature itself imbibes the clarity of silence within. So also today, I am going to tell you of a person who is the greatest instrument in all the good that you experience today. First and foremost, who is a priest? Hebrews chapter 5 1 says, "For every high priest is chosen among men to be appointed on behalf of men in relation to God." This clearly tells a priest is chosen to act as a mediator between God and man. I would not like to speak of priests in general, for you'll find many videos speaking about it. But I would like to speak only about two intimate aspects of priest. First, a priest, the shadow of Christ glorious. Second, a priest, the shadow of Christ crucified. First and foremost, a priest, a shadow of Christ glorious. Leviticus chapter 20:26 says, "I have separated you from other people, and you are mine." Saint John Mary Vianney says, "If a priest comes to know of his worth before God, he would die not out of joy, but out of love." So this tells us how the Lord holds them close and dear to his heart. He further says, "If I were to meet a priest and an angel, I would first salute the priest rather than an angel, because first is the friend of God, but priest represents God himself." Priest is highly esteemed in heaven. Just like Mary, who brought forth Jesus in her womb, so does a priest bring Jesus as he is on the altar, and that too every single day. St. Ambrose, our great Holy Father, says, "He made them vicars of love," showing the immense responsibility they have on this earth of spreading love. These are the aspects where priest is highly exalted and represents Christ glorious. Secondly, a priest, a shadow of Christ crucified. When I talk about suffering, I remember a poem attributed to Saint John of the Cross. "It is a river over which every soul must pass to reach the kingdom of heaven, and the name of that river was suffering. And I saw a boat which carries souls across the river, and the name of that boat was love." In our normal conception, priest and suffering don't usually match. Superficially, a priest seems to be rejoiced, joyful, and contented. We tend to imagine that a priest would have any sufferings that all common people have. Perhaps true, but this is only part of the coin. There is a saying that goes this way: "Priest without suffering is no priest at all." It is true that they don't suffer any hardships that common people face, but when life strikes them with a grievous blow, they have no one to share their hardships with, no one to console them, which really perturbs them. Along with Saint John of the Cross, they say, to suffer and to be despised for Christ, and they all offer this for the salvation of sinful souls. In the life of Saint Padre Pius, when he was falsely accused, he still prayed for them all. Their work as a priest, taking communion to the sick at the midnight, sitting at a confessional the whole day, is not at all easy, but they take it all with a broad smile. When we see the life of Saint John Vianney, He was so busy serving souls that he slept only 2 hours a day. At times when you feel that pleasing a partner is so difficult, we have priest who pleases more than hundreds of people, but still becomes the victim of all false accusations. Christ walked the road to Calvary only once, but it is priest who walks every day. Whenever priest lifts up the chalice, he says, "Lord, I will to suffer like you." Whenever we face some troubles, we share it to the priest. We ask him to be compassionate, but for a moment, sit and listen to what he is going through. When we fall, we expect him to forgive us. But when temptations overpower him, 1,000 eyes gloat at him, never giving him a second chance. In spite of all this, he never utters a word, but smilingly prays for you and for me. The next time when you meet a priest, greet him with a smile. Ask of him, let him feel the warmth and belongingness of a family. Let us not condemn him for his small mistakes, but rather give him a second chance. Let us treat him to be human and not some celestial creature. Let us together make him feel special.